Hey nerds, this is dang it, every freaking time. So it's Thor's Day, Marvel fans, and you know what that means. It is time for the FOMO show. Tonight we are talking Moon Knight. Oh my god, wow, it's gonna be a night. Tonight we're talking Moon Knight and that trailer, and we've got some Marvel Cinematic news, teasers, and speculation about what's to come for you, so don't miss out. This is the FOMO show, MCU edition. All right, like I said, Marvel fans, this is the FOMO show, and I am Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
And thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch. Please like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon so that you know when we drop new videos and when we go live like this. Sometimes it takes a little bit to set up, and sometimes, you know, just time, you know, it's a thing sometimes. Are you talking, Quinn?
No.
I saw your mouth moving, but nothing came out.
Oh, yes. I was whispering my soul back into my body after I tried to leave just now.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. That's on theme. So. All right. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your support. Liking and sharing, telling your friends is a big deal. It helps out so much. Thank you for doing that. And don't forget to check out that website at www.broken.picturesno.com. And we've got some merch and stuff there too. You can check that out. And special notes, just stay healthy out there. We're, you know, in the middle of an epidemic. In fact, Quinn is positive right now. That's I've had to get tested the past 2 weeks in a row, come out negative, luckily, but still just under the weather, but it's negative. It's not that. It's just so yeah. I'm a school photographer, so every time we start back, like in a new season, it's like hot and heavy, but also we're going into a different school every day, and so it's kind of like I get just a little sick every time because kids are gross. It's just in the air. Imagine walking into a school and they line every kid up in that entire school and walk them before you. Or, well, I mean, depending on how many photographers there are, about like a third, sometimes half the school, every day at a different school.
Good goodness.
It's awesome.
Oh.
No,
boy,
it's not
howdy.
bad. Yeah. Speaking of work, just say thanks to my friend Rhea that got, I don't know if you can see that on my water bottle. It says Dylan. It's got the Avengers logo on there for my A. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, I guess I'll pass it over to you. Oh yeah, happy birthday to my friend Jason, directing the movie I'm going to be coming up. So, yeah.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Yep.
We should do a little.
Huh?
Or like I don't know. Do we have a button for birthdays? Is there a birthday button?
I mean, let's see what we got. We got. No, that's not it. I mean, no, that's a little clown face. It probably just this. I think that's just the best thing there is right there.
Birthday button. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Happy birthday again. All right, I will take it over. Please, all those who are listening with me in there, that's a clown. I also have us up just to make sure anything happens. So it's slightly delayed. Yeah. So it's slightly delayed. So I just saw the clown. I was like, oh, that's what he means. So, for all those who have me in their ear or blasting through whatever speaker, please forgive me because I have died and come back. So this is the sound of resurrection. or zombie, whichever. Probably zombie, because boy howdy, my chest hurts. All right, here we go. If you haven't left now, I'm kidding.
Whoa. Man.
If you haven't left now, this is your last chance, because this is your spoiler alert. In this episode of the FOMO Show, we will be talking about the Moon Knight trailer. So if you haven't seen that, pause this, go watch that, and then come back. Unless you want to be spoiled, you have been warned.
Yee. That you have. You've been warned. So, if you can't tell the difference between your waking life and your dreams, then have we got the show for you. So,
Talk about.
oh, actually, that's right. We got to do our MCU news real quick, just real fast. So yeah, just if you don't want to hear this part, just skip ahead 10 minutes or go to the bathroom, come right back. All right. So as we know, yeah, of course, Spider-Man is still like the number one, or not number one, but huge, one of the biggest grossing films in history. I think last I heard it passed Jurassic Park. Number 6 all time. That is insane.
Yeah.
Man. So Black Panther 2 resumed shooting and has shut down again due to COVID almost a week later. So it's like, they're never going to get this movie made. Oh, man.
It's funny. Not funny. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's,
Jeez.
yeah.
It's
Every time.
It's cursed.
It's almost like, it's cursed. Hey!
The ghost of Chadwick Boseman is just giggling in the background.
Oh, they're about to start filming again. I think I'm going to give you COVID. Goodbye!
All right.
Boy,
So speaking of currently filming, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is currently filming. James Gunn has confirmed that this is the last time we will see this team as a team. So big reason to see right there. Supposed to focus or kind of close out Rocket's story that's kind of been going. I hope that doesn't mean that he dies, because I totally want to see more Rocket.
Yes. I hope Rocket doesn't die either. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're all pretty sure that it's gonna be Drax who dies.
Yeah, he's already said he's not playing Drax no more, unless they just throw money at him. I mean, but he said he's in his 50s and he's expecting all this buffness to just start falling off at any point. I mean, but look at Hulk Hogan. I mean, dude ain't giving up. It's droopy, but it's there. You gotta.
Let me show you these 22-inch pythons, brother. And it's just like him with a picture of his old bicep on there.
Yeah, so MCU adjacent news related to Hulk Hogan. Don't forget that Chris Hemsworth will be playing Hogan in an biopic. Not autobiography. How do you do that as a movie? That's weird. Anyways. You play yourself in your bio? I guess. No. Never seen that happen.
I wouldn't put it past Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Oh, brother, I still got it. Oh, brother's right.
Oh, brother.
All right, so Disney Plus has added all the one-shots. Remember one-shots? They're the little short films that were connected to a movie that, like, I think Phase 1, some of Phase 2, they kind of did little one-shots coming off to kind of connect what was going on. Because, remember, those were, like, we got, like, one a year. So they kind of, like, did this little connectivity thing to keep people's interest and all that kind of stuff. Now, we get so much content. So much that we could talk about new stuff every week, which is nuts. But it is sparking rumors that we may see Agent Coulson return and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. officially canonized soon. So, the rumor mill is going. Nothing official, obviously, but, you know, that doesn't stop people from talking. Looking at possibly Doctor Strange 2 or even Secret Invasion, because Secret Invasion is also filming right now with Emilia Clarke and, of course, dude that plays Talos and Maria Hill and Sam Jackson. And of course, he is Sam Jackson. I'm not going to say Nick Fury because he's Sam Jackson no matter what he plays. But he's one and the same with Nick Fury. He just is.
Yes. It's very funny how just about every character he plays they're just all the same. At a certain point, it's just like they know who they're casting. It's like, well, all right, do what you got to do. Here's what we want you to say. Just say it, and you may end up with like an eye patch at some point in the movie. Just roll with it. What
just
movie
don't
was
say
that?
MFer on Disney Plus.
It was super quick. It was the latest XXX movie, The Return of Xander Cage.
I didn't see that one.
He had an eye patch in the movie and a scar, and I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, the multiverse is broken. You know, Vin Diesel is in the he plays the voice of Groot. He always wanted to play Black Bolt. He's been like campaigning to play Black Bolt forever. So I don't know if that's still a thing. I mean, obviously the Inhuman show is hopefully not canon anymore. It's just one of those side universes that just kind of fell apart and was destroyed.
The Watcher watches it. Dang, there goes another one. Just continues.
Pretty good, Jeffrey Wright. And it's like, we're not going to miss that one.
Oh, man. What was the other thing? Oh, maybe next week we can just talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. I don't know. Because that's a can of worms we don't need to open.
Man, there's so much. I was faithful to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and because I was watching it with my kids. It was like one of our shows. And when they lost interest, I was just like, I'm not going to watch this by myself. It's not even connected anymore. It's like Ghost Rider is gone. Like Coulson is dead again. It's like, yeah. So I don't mean. I guess it'd have to be a life model decoy if we saw Coulson again.
Well, so did you finish the show out of curiosity?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, I'll leave it be. Where they kind of start getting me was the so like, you know, in season 1 they mess with gravitonium or gravitanium, and then like they set up for graviton at a certain point, and I waited and I waited and I waited, then I finally got graviton, and then I was like, the fuck is this? Because
and it was Nathan from Heroes.
Yeah, I was like, why do they
that freaking general guy? It's like, what?
Why do they keep giving this guy powers where he flies? Quit. And it was, and so like, and also the way that they did it was like in the background. The attack on New York with Ebony Maw was happening at the same time this was happening.
Sorry, I forgot to turn on my hair light. Separate me from the background a little bit. My bad.
It's all good. So, but yeah, like the beginning of Infinity War was happening at the same time that this was happening. And it was, it's a whole thing. Very.
Yeah, it kind of went out and in and out and in and back around and through time travel and future and back and nuts.
Different dimensions. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Oh yeah, that's big can of worms. Okay. Okay. So reportedly, Madam Web will begin filming soon. And if you don't know who Madam Web is, like, that's the whole Spider-Verse. She is like, okay, so if the Spider-Verse is a web of multiverses, of universes, she is the spider at the center, sensing the tingling on the web and orchestrating all that jazz, right?
Yes.
So
She is whenever there's a crisis that only a Spider-Man can handle, she will pull them in, and she will create a super team of Spider-Men to make sure that everything is fixed the way it should be.
yeah, perfect time after No Way Home to bring her in, and obviously the success of that. This movie was actually announced way before the pandemic, way before COVID, and it kind of was just it's about to go down. It's like, this is about to get crazy.
It's about to be,
Timey-wimey nonsense and universal mayhem, multiverse mayhem.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, honestly, if they do what I think they're about to do, because I thought it was really weird that Into the Spider-Verse, the second movie, is a part one. Mm-hmm. If they do what I think they're about to do, Into the Spider-Verse, maybe depending how Multiverse of Madness goes, especially with the cameos, Madam Web and Tom Holland can just do whatever he feels like. We could see live action culmination of all of these movies as like a true like cinematic Spider-Verse.
That would be amazing. And from what I understand, part of Sony has the film rights for Spider-Man. They do not have the animated rights for Spider-Man. So the fact that Into the Spider-Verse was made, there's more to this deal with Sony than meets the eye.
Yes.
From what I may be mistaken, but this is what it seems is going on. Like there's more going on, because Amy Pascal announced another trilogy, and then they quickly swept that under the rug, kind of like the whole Madam Web thing. Like, it was announced, and then they just that didn't happen. Nothing to see here, you know. And so I think that's what's going on, man.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
So Madam Web is old as shit. Twice as crusty. No, just kidding.
Oh my.
If you could cast Madam Web, who would you cast?
So to me, Madam Web is all about that presence, and she's freakishly tall when she's not in her throne, because I don't know why. So in all actuality, I keep forgetting her name, and I shouldn't, because I have a lot of respect for her. The lady who plays Brienne of Tarth as Madam Web.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Huh. I was thinking, oh, come on, where's this movie? Dang it. Okay. I'm trying to look her up. I see her face, but I cannot think of her name. What is... Okay. Hold on.
Which movie?
Hold on. There it is. Helen Mirren is who I would pick.
Helen Mirren?
Mm-hmm.
I can see that too. I think
presence, right?
Yeah.
And I take back everything I said about being old and crusty. Helen Mirren is a dream. Like, I don't know how old she is, but she's amazing.
She is.
I think she could get the hall pass. For most dudes, like she's just timeless.
Oh, what if they? Let me throw this one at you. What if they do this? What if Madam Web is Aunt May, but not Aunt May, just the actress who played Aunt May. Once again.
Marissa Tomei.
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
And so maybe like she's Aunt May from a different timeline and became Madam Web or something.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That's cool. And well, I mean, Marissa Tomei, I think, she's trying to get out of the Aunt May role because she was starting to get like the motherly roles, and she was like, I'm hot and single. And so she was trying, yeah, because she was starting to get compared to like the other Aunt Mays, you know.
Oh.
So she's like, I'm not really that Aunt May. I'm the hot single Aunt May. And she there was an interview. She was talking about something about like, do you think Hot May, of course,
Hot May.
do you think Aunt May would like date a woman or something? You know, now that she's single and not seeing happy or anything. And she was like, well, the way I see Aunt May is, she's got desires. And I was like, she's got sexual things going on. I was like, okay. It's like, it's cutting a little too deep for me, for Aunt May. she
Tom
rewrote Aunt
Holland
May.
just out of nowhere. Please stop. When did Tom get here? All
right. Yeah. And one more thing, just, not really anything big or whatever, but there's a rumor that the MCU, Kevin Feige and potentially the Russo brothers are working on a new Avengers trilogy that will cover the Secret Wars. It will be based on Secret Wars. Not a big deal, good. Just, probably biggest movie trilogy ever.
It would be it would definitely top the Infinity Saga. It would actually give a name to whatever they're doing. This saga that will culminate in 3-4 films.
Yeah.
And also,
they basically, the last Avengers 3 and 4 were, there were sequels. It was the same movie connected.
Yeah. They didn't want anyone to sit in the theater for like 5 hours.
I would. Like this new Batman film is 3 hours long. It's like, do it. Damn it.
Sitting here, I'm wearing a diaper. I'm gonna.
They screened a 4-hour long one before fans like did a screener, just kind of before an audience.
Just to see.
How do you get those tickets? You kind of live in LA, I imagine.
So, what do you think of the end of the movie? It was great. Show everybody this. Godly. What was I about to say? It was involving Secret Wars. What was it? It was actually involving Loki and what Kang said. Not Kang, He Who Remains. He said the thing, which is like, well, I guess that's what's going to be happening next. Because we still haven't we know he's coming in Ant-Man. But once again, we're probably going to get multiple versions of him, at least I'm hoping. And he said that once he discovered the, interdimensional travel, he discovered his other selves, and they had a secret war. So, like they did with the Infinity Saga, how they took notes from the original things from the comics and then composed them into this soliloquy of movies and other BS.
Yeah, giant collage.
Yeah. They're going to probably take notes from Secret Wars. Take notes from Secret Wars, but
the
also
newest Secret Wars, right? The one
Yes.
that's actually based on the multiverse.
Yeah. Yeah, the little, I think it was that 8-part? It was either 8-part or 6-part comic. Because I have all but one. And it pisses
That's the worst.
Yeah, it's super the worst. And I'm not going to pay $50 right now. But if I don't, I'll probably never have it. Unless I just find it cheap, but it'll probably be like beat up.
It's only going to get more expensive too, though.
I know. Dylan don't make me cry. So,
I'm just saying, like, that's how you can explain it to your wife. It's like, pay a little now, or pay a lot more later.
Because if you have the whole set,
it's an investment, really, baby.
If you have the whole set of that one graded, I think it's like right now, it'll just be like a couple thousand, and that's kind of high for a whole set of a comic that came out 4 or 5 years ago. But 10 years, 20 years from now, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, especially if they make the movie series, they're just going to go through the roof.
Through the freaking roof.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. So yeah, we got to move on. We're getting hung up on this. It's really interesting, fun to talk about, and we can kind of maybe come back around to stuff like that. Cause all right.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Have we got the show for you? All right. So who is Moon Knight? All right. So according to the Marvel Encyclopedia, the book itself, it says Moon Knight, a mercenary, left for dead in the Egyptian desert. Mark Spector, who was found by followers of the Egyptian god Khonshu, who saved his life and gave him superhuman powers. Returning to the U.S., Mark became a crime fighter, calling himself the Moon Knight, and assumed two more alter egos. Millionaire Stephen Grant. We'll talk about that in a minute, because that ain't the same Stephen Grant. Stevie. And taxi driver Jake with a V. Taxi driver Jake Lockley, who we've not seen yet. Mark fought crime for many years, battling against Werewolf, Midnight Man, and Black Spectre, and alongside Spider-Man and the Punisher. Eventually, Mark retired his alter egos, but then felt compelled to travel to Egypt. There, members of the cult of Khonshu explained to him that being the Moon Knight was his destiny and one he could not shirk. Yes. Reinvigorated, Mark became the Moon Knight once more when Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, took over the Avengers. Mark faked his death. Yeah. He later joined the Avengers in their fight against the X-Men and started a battle at the Jean Grey School. Mark also took on another persona as Mr. Knight, helping NYPD Detective Flint solve cases. His multiple personas were a symptom of Khonshu taking over his mind. After regaining control, he engaged the Sun King in a battle of mind and spirit and won. Yes. So, yeah. His first appearance was Werewolf by Night, number 32 in 1975. Says his strength...
Pause. I would like to touch on that just for a quick hair.
Oh, can we read this really short spot just about his powers? It says his strength waxes and wanes with the moon. He bears weapons given to him by the Egyptian god Khonshu, scarab throwing darts, a golden ankh that glows when danger is near, and an ivory boomerang.
Yes. So there's a lot of things about Moon Knight that I don't know how they're going to answer off the bat. Mm-hmm. So, and the book gives you the current iteration of Moon Knight, of how he is and the things they definitely want you to forget. But Moon Knight first, his in that comic, Werewolf by Night, he appears as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
He is the antagonist for Wolfman, Werewolf, Wolfman.
Yeah.
And he's a villain.
Who is named Jack Russell.
His name is the Wolfman. So,
side note to your side note, we are getting a Werewolf by Night series on Disney Plus. It's supposed to be like a Halloween special. Not sure when that's coming out though.
Interesting.
But they do have an actor playing Werewolf by Night.
Okay. I wonder if we'll get the Howling Commandos then. Okay. So yeah. Also, Moon Knight's armor, well, his suit is made of adamantium. Normally.
Not adamantium?
Adamantium. Wolverine claws.
Okay, my bad.
Whatever.
You said adamantium. I was like, is that new?
Sorry.
I mean, you know a lot more than I do about comics, so I, just take it at face value sometimes.
I say words wrong all the time. The same metal
Specific
that
words?
is in. Get out of here, Dylan.
I wonder if those words are at the library.
I'm gonna throw a shoe at you. Wolverine's claws and Moon Knight's armor are made of the same metal. And also, there was this there's a comparison between Moon Knight and Batman that has existed for quite a while because of Moon Knight's brutality and his use of the way he uses technology and gadgets, quotations.
Yeah, and the millionaire persona, kind of like Bruce Wayne.
And the millionaire, yeah. This man has. I need him and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool just to have a conversation. It'll be very interesting.
I wonder if they're going to get quirky like that, or if it's because it looks like they're going like the dark route, and this might be a little another little rabbit trail to your main point here, but okay, come back to me when we start splicing out the personas. We'll put a pin in that. We'll put a pin in that.
We'll put a pin in it. Oh, continue on for me. Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
It's all right. So yeah, there's a lot of things with Moon Knight and how he's going to interact with the world around him, and also there was a point in time. I forget it might be the name of the god. I can't pronounce it. It's the age
Khonshu.
of something. Khonshu. It might be Khonshu. You're right. Age of Khonshu. It was an event that happened where the cultists they ended up kind of capturing some of the heroes, like Iron Fist, Jean Grey, who had the Phoenix Force at the time, Doctor Strange. There was somebody else, and they took their powers and gave them to Moon Knight.
What?
And he was OP for a little bit. He ended up giving everything back, but so that he could become this ultimate being, they gave him like all these mystical abilities. And he's dabbled with like the Phoenix Force a bit more, like housing it on more than one occasion. So, Moon Knight.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, his character in the comics, like his main persona, Mark Spector, is kind of how we're introduced to him in the comics, and he's normal. Like he's actually a very excellent human being as far as like, I mean, he's top of his game type thing. And he worked for the CIA. He was in the Marines, and was a mercenary. And that's how he got into this trouble with I forget who it was that turned on him on one of his mercenary expeditions, and was left for dead and laid at the feet of the statue of Khonshu. And Khonshu was like, yeah, well, I'll resurrect you and you'll be my avatar. And so, like it said, with Khonshu living in his head, his personality splintered, and he became other characters, other people. And but in the show, in the trailer, Oscar Isaac is playing Steven, who in the comics is like the millionaire playboy persona.
Which is strange.
Yeah, and so like, but he in this one he's a gift shop worker at a museum, basically, right?
Yeah.
And, which we know nothing about that at all. We met working at a museum in town. It's, I think, because he answers that, he finds that phone and he answers the phone, and she's like, "Oh, thank God, Mark, you're alive. I didn't know you were alive," or something. "You're still alive." And he's like, "Why did you call me Mark?" You know, and
that day, Oscar Isaac, I swear.
I know. And so I think that I think that we're just coming in through that. I don't think that he knows that he's Mark Spector. I think it's the same thing. I don't think that they've changed and made Steven the main persona. I think that's just where he is right now, and Steven is discovering that he's actually somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's a retrograde amnesia with a little bit of split personality.
Mm-hmm. Definitely some DID going on.
Yeah. So he is, and I feel like because he's trying to keep Moon Knight from coming out, from all of it just coming in, and then he starts beating
the whole
someone
mummy
down.
thing is super cool. And I don't know if those bandages are made from adamantium, but
we'll find out, I guess. Or they're made of vibranium, because everything's made of vibranium, apparently.
Yeah, because, I mean, is adamantium a thing? I don't recall I don't recall if they've mentioned it in the MCU yet. Because, I mean, Oscorp isn't a thing, so I was like, let's just throw out, foundational and structural elements of the Marvel Universe and just pretend they don't exist. No big deal.
Yeah. There's a lot that they could easily just do it now and not have it be a problem. But I think they're honestly just waiting until Multiverse of Madness, where they're going to end up I think a whole bunch of characters are going to get stuck in our universe, and then they're probably going to literally label the MCU, if not Earth 616.
Retcon everything.
Yeah, and if they don't label our universe, the MCU universe 616, they're gonna relabel it another one to make things make sense, and then
I think in Far From Home, Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio called it 616.
I think he was from 616, and he called us something else. I think the one he said we can go back and look. It's fine. No. He did say it though. I do remember that. I just can't remember on which side he said it on.
Yeah. So 616 is like the main timeline for the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it's the timeline the comics happen in, and any major event for whatever frickin' reason usually starts and ends there.
So why do they call it 616? What's the significance of that?
Because it is the Earth. It is the 616th timeline in the multiverse itself, and it's not the prime timeline, but it's the timeline that we follow, and it's the timeline that like I said, everything happens in. Because there
not the prime timeline.
It's not the prime timeline.
Wow, I didn't know that. What is universe number 1? I wonder.
I can't remember if that one still even exists. Because a lot of them like have run their course, and if you go to them, they're just wastelands.
Oh wow,
Yes.
interesting. I was wondering if it was tied to like different issues or iterations of Steve Ditko or Stan Lee's publications or something like that.
Yeah.
Like some kind of meta thing.
I get it. Some of it, I believe it is, and you can go look that up. I don't know enough about that. I know enough of it on the DC side, but not on the Marvel side, because there is a Earth in DC where the heroes are designed after, like, they're Stan Lee's designs for what he thought the Justice League should have been, and I think that was Earth 27.
Cool.
And yeah, it's just a lot of stuff like that.
Some people don't know that the reason that DC and Marvel are so similar is not necessarily that they're stealing from each other. It's because they were both basically created by the same people.
Yep. Everybody was there. You can find a Superman comic with Stan Lee's name on it. Can you get it signed? No, you cannot. But if you have, good job.
It'd be insane.
It would be. I've seen one. I cried. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. It's fine.
This is broken pictures. It's okay to not be okay.
But yes, Moon Knight. Wait, where were we?
We were talking about timelines.
Yes. Oh man, what about them? There's so much.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember what you were talking about specifically, but
go ahead.
I don't know. It's funny to me that when you get people who are, I was going to mention this earlier and I forgot, people who are considered like movie stars and not character actors. Like you got, Sam Jackson, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, big stars like this, right? Ben Affleck. When they're in a movie, they don't use accents at all. They're just themselves. Like I watched The Last Duel, and it was just like nobody's got a French accent but the other actors. Not Matt Damon, not even Adam Driver or Ben Affleck. It was just like, yeah.
Well, Adam Driver will try to go for it.
I thought too, because he's more interested in like, being an actor, not necessarily a movie star. But yeah, I mean, it's basically like if you drop Matt Damon in any Matt Damon movie, he's just a different version of Matt Damon. Same thing with Brad Pitt.
Same thing with Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, yeah. I mean, except when he's great.
Every Vin Diesel movie is just a slight alteration from a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, because their face is the selling point. Like their brand is why people watch the movie, and I think the industry's kind of moving away from that, but that used to be a huge thing. If you wanted to get a movie made, you had to get a brand name star attached.
No, great value.
Yeah. But
Even
yeah,
though
I
it
just thought
tastes
that was
just as
interesting.
good, sometimes better. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but even like British actors and stuff, like even Tom Holland, Jude Law, when they play other people, they have an accent. I mean, obviously they both are British, but like when they're playing American characters, they use an American accent. So
yeah,
I wonder
if you haven't seen them in anything else, you think they're American.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, you would think big name actors like that, if they're in a period piece, that they. This is sparking from the whole Sam Jackson thing, where, we were talking about this earlier. But yeah, you would think that they could afford like a a dialect coach to help them speak
Which,
differently.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't, because I mean,
And
they can.
yeah, and I liked. This is just a little side note. What I liked about like The Last Duel is that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon even went to great lengths to not look so much like themselves, but their voice was still the same. But anyways,
That's cool.
Anywho,
Well,
anywho,
I mean,
that's back to Moon Knight. So yeah, I guess
So, yeah,
that yeah,
Moon
that's
Knight.
what I was going to tie in with Oscar Isaac. Like people are clowning on him for his British accent. You know, my waking life, and it's like because like as soon as the trailer dropped, everybody's like, oh, he went to the school for shoot. I just lost his name. The Dick Van Dyke School of Accents. From Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins. You know.
boy,
like
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, the most fake Cockney, you know. Like, it's a fun accent to do, but it's not accurate, you know, and British people kind of get upset about it because it's like us being from the South. Like, you can tell the difference between somebody who's from Georgia South, Louisiana South, Texas South, Arkansas South. Like, we can tell, you know, like there's different drawls. And, but as far as British accents, like we're not that schooled on it, but they can tell, like, oh, you're from this Underbridge or whatever the hell is they got going over there.
I did it.
Underbridge upon Avon.
So there was this guy. It was very strange. It was weird. A gentleman came to my place of employment the other day, and he was British. But I was doing a British accent to everyone else that was walking up to me. Before he got there. And when he got there, like for a moment, a glint.
Was he though, or was he just clowning on you?
No, he actually was. We had a conversation. I had to BS my way through some shit, Dylan.
Like with your fake British accent?
Yes, Dylan.
Oh, you didn't come clean on him?
If this man ever watches this, he will be like, well done.
Oh, he probably knew. He probably knew. What was he asking you?
Oh man. He asked me why I moved here. He asked me why I moved here, how long I've been here for.
Oh, you straight up lied. With your coworker sitting right there going, damn it, Quinn.
One of them got up and walked away.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
I ducked that man for the rest of the day.
Oh my god. He's probably laughing. He probably thought it was hilarious.
Man. I think he got a chuckle out of it. I got a new gray hair out of it.
Wow. The most I've ever done like that, like a friend of mine, when we were in like youth group, you know, back in like when we were teenagers and stuff, we went to a youth camp and we were trying to like get chicks to like us and pretend that we were Australian. So we were like both talking with an Australian accent for like an hour or two, just walking around the place and doing our thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Australian's so much easier than British because, especially for someone who's Southern, because it's just Southern British.
Just Southern British.
Yeah.
My Australian, it starts as Australian, and then it slowly just goes back into British.
Oh wow.
Or
I have the opposite problem.
Or if depending on what I'm talking about, it then slowly goes into Irish, and I'm like, why? I don't know. It just does, and I'm like, okay. So yes, that's yes.
Every time I try to do an Irish accent, it slides into Scottish.
Okay.
Even like, okay, so I spent 2 weeks in Ireland, and afterward, I could pick out, I could do it, but it just, I didn't use it enough, and it just kind of went away. And if I practice, then I can do almost any accent, but man, it's hard to hold it without just like doing it all the time.
I just practice on guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Only one I don't. There's until one comes up. There are 3 that I do not. There are 3 I do not. I've banned myself from doing them. A Latino accent. A Russian accent. And then
that's one of my favorite ones just to do for fun.
I'm black. And then I try not to do an Asian accent, like someone,
like
an Asian
stereotypical.
speaking, yeah, English accent. Like if I'm saying something in a language, yeah, I'll turn it on. But if I'm saying something in English, and it will not have an Asian accent to it at all.
Wow. It's like, wow, we're totally talking about accents right now. It's funny to me. It's hilarious to me when, like, okay, so there was a time where I could like understand Spanish and I could partially speak it, and because I was around it all the time when I lived in Texas for almost 2 years, and but it's funny because like when I speak Spanish, or even like now when I'm pronouncing a Spanish or Hispanic name, like when I'm taking kids' pictures or whatever, like I can't help but do it in the accent because I don't know, it's just fun like to do the accent. I can't help myself, and I'm not trying to, but it's funny to me like when other white friends that I know do speak Spanish, and they don't have an accent, so it's like de nada. You know what I mean? Like
de nada, no porque.
It's like gracias, not gracias.
Dang.
Anyways, huge rabbit trail.
Very huge rabbit trail. Oh, I found it. So he did. You were right. You were right. He said this Earth's dimension is 616. I'm from Earth 833.
Boom. So yeah, Oscar Isaac's British accent. I have a theory about that, and the theory is so in the trailer we see, because I mean, like you said, Moon Knight is constantly compared to Batman, and it's kind of like just an easy way to kind of explain who he is, but it's not really accurate. I mean, he is brutal like Batman. He's got toys like Batman. He's vengeance like Batman, but there's obviously like a mental health aspect way more than Batman. I mean, even though you look at Batman's villains and big, obviously Arkham Asylum, big mental health elements in there, even with Batman himself. But Moon Knight, it is like very, very like ingrained into the character. Obviously, he's what used to be known as schizophrenia is dissociative identity disorder now, where he's multiple personalities or personas or alters. But there is also a very, very heavy mystical element because of the god Khonshu that resides in his body, in his brain, and that's why his personality split and is causing him this trauma that created these personas.
Yes.
Because I mean, there's he's sharing brain space and his soul with an Egyptian god. Who's not just any Egyptian god. Like, I'll get into that in a minute, because there are ties into other things too. So yeah, there's big mystical elements about his powers waning with the moon and all that type of thing, and obviously Egyptian gods and mysticism, and so, you know, there's a lot more going on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As for in that realm, and also the fact that he tends to fight more like horror monsters types, like vampires and werewolves, and I mean, he showed up in Werewolf by Night first, and obviously Dracula still got his money, but Dracula, motherfucker, still got my money. So in the trailer, there's not this wacky element that is definitely present in the comics, where kind of like some fourth wall breaking and some just kind of, he's just not all there. You know, he's like calling the Avengers Tower looking for Dracula in one.
Especially when he's Mr. Knight, dear God.
Yeah, so it's like almost like some Daredevil-esque type stuff, right? Or not Daredevil, I'm sorry, Deadpool's type stuff.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
So,
I'm curious if the reason Oscar Isaac is doing this this comical accent is because of that, and that. So my theory is that as more trailers come, we'll not just see the dark, brooding side and mystical darkness side of Moon Knight. We'll also get to see some of the comedic elements and some of the silliness and that type of stuff playing up. And maybe this version of Steven at his early point or whatever is like he's a fake persona. So the reason he speaks in that accent is because Mark Spector doesn't know how to do a British accent, and the only thing he knows is Mary Poppins, and that's why he talks that way.
That'd be hilarious. I mean, it seems like it'd be accurate as well. Because I feel so. Since we've been talking about it, I've been re-listening to the trailer when you were watching it. A thing that kind of came into my head was, you seen the show Happy?
No, but I'm aware of it, where he sees the unicorn and stuff.
I think the tone of that show, because I don't think the show is going to be mature, but the tone of that show, I think, will be similar to the tone of Moon Knight. And like, when it needs to be serious, it's serious, but then at like random points, those little spurts of like comedy or funny things will like happen, especially the times where he's not literally punching someone's face with his fist in the ground. And things like that.
Very literally, like, dark humor. Like, dark horror humor. Like, okay, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, where he's just like, they're like that type of like comedy horror mix.
I think, yeah. And I mean, those are enjoyable, and there's definitely an audience for it. I like it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. especially bringing in like the old school, like Universal type monsters with you know, the werewolves and the vampires and all that type of stuff. Like, I love that. And speaking of, Moon Knight runs in a group that hunts and deals with mystical problems. In the comics, MI16, is that right?
Yes.
And also also, is it not the same group or just a different name? The Midnight Suns.
It's slightly. There's a few different members, but they both have like a deep catalog. Sorry.
You can say ass on here.
Okay, they both have a deep ass catalog.
PG-13. You're allowed one F-bomb. You already used it.
So the Midnight Suns, they were put together to deal with, forgot her name, ancient goddess. She's super evil. I see her.
It's not Hela, is
Not
it?
Hela. No, it's another one. She's from Earth, but she's just like basically a lich. If I had to compare her to something that made sense to compare her to, because she's a sorceress. She's a witch, and she was sealed away by the original sect of the Midnight Suns, and then the new Midnight Suns were put together with modern day heroes, like Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Blade, Moon Knight's in there,
Black Knight.
They're a lot of folks.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was about to just name somebody else, so that's about it.
So we could very well see, because he works at a museum in London that's only a couple miles from the Natural History Museum where from Eternals, where Black Knight works, or
yes,
Dane Midwin, and Blade was in that Eternals. His voice was in that Eternals after credit scene.
Yes.
So they are within miles from each other. So it's very sure. Yeah, say goodnight to the kids. Oh, sweet.
Okay. I have a chop on me. Okay. Here
Are
she
all
is.
y'all sick or just you?
Liam got sick. Liam started feeling symptoms. Shay felt some symptoms, but everybody tested positive. Only one we didn't test was Kelsey. Liam and I showed symptoms. I had it the worst. Shay, mild symptoms. And Kelsey, nothing at all. You couldn't even tell.
Okay, so she's just sleepy.
Yeah, she just woke up because
Because daddy's loud. No.
Apparently. It wouldn't be. Bye, baby. Okay, she waved bye to me. And then rolls her eyes.
She's a mother's daughter.
Right.
Yeah, Midnight Suns, Black Knight, or Dane Whitman is like, he's got the blah 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 the sword.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of the sword.
the Black Blade,
I guess it's that simple. Yeah, the
the Ebony Blade.
The Ebony Blade. He's got it right in front of him, and Blade stops him. So Blade could already he could be like the Nick Fury of the horror aspect of this, and kind of putting together a team, or gathering mystical items or something like that for either the Midnight Suns or MI16.
Yes.
So with them being like within miles from each other, like I would love to see at least an end credit scene with them show up and be like, hey, we need you to help us do something or whatever, you know what I mean? How they do. And and
it would be really funny.
Hold on just one second. So Moon Knight also comes out before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And you just also mentioned that Doctor Strange is part of the Midnight Suns.
Yes.
So we could be getting another team up here. Most likely.
Super, yeah.
And I forgot rumors. A couple, well, maybe not forgot, but a month or so ago, heavy rumors that they were casting Ghost Rider, and Norman Reedus has been heavily campaigning to play Ghost Rider, and he posted a couple different things on Twitter that made a lot of people think that he was either in talks or being cast as Ghost Rider. So
perfect.
That would be amazing to see them show up in possibly like Multiverse of Madness, and then Ghost Rider too, because Kevin Feige has been trying to put Ghost Rider in the MCU for a very long time.
Yes.
And now that he has basically the entire Infinity Stone gauntlet of Marvel properties under the umbrella, dude can do what he wants, because he was the Marvel Studios movie guy, and then there was a TV guy, and then there was a comics guy, and then the TV studio dissolved and came under his umbrella, and I'm pretty sure he's over the comics now too, isn't he? Like, he's over everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's like the guy. So he can do whatever the hell he wants, and ain't nobody stopping him. So
no.
And Midnight Suns game just is dropping on Sony, so they're priming the pump to get people excited about it, to kind of bring bring it to the front of people's minds, that recognition, that brand recognition.
Yeah. And it's a strategy game too, so I'm definitely gonna buy it. I was gonna buy it anyway because it said Midnight Suns, and then you can create your own character. And I'm like, oh yes, so yeah. But what you call it? Strategy game, definitely gonna buy it. I enjoy strategy games.
Me too.
What was the other thing?
I gotta get a PlayStation, man.
Don't do it, Dylan. Just you have an Xbox?
Yeah. You can play it. You can't play that on Xbox, can you?
Yeah, I'm getting it on my Switch because it's coming out for Switch.
Ooh, okay. But I can't play Spider-Man.
I understand, but you know,
God of War.
Right.
It's on PC now, though.
Yeah, it's on PC. You have a very good PC. I'm just saying.
True.
They make controllers.
It's eking into the Microsoft Xbox realm there.
Join us, Dylan. You'll know it is what your destiny. What was I about to say? The end credit scene for Moon Knight
Eternals.
with Black Knight, for Moon Knight with Black Knight and Blade. I'm talking about the end of Moon Knight end credit. I'm gonna.
Oh, what you want it to be?
What I want it to be, yes. Okay. So I want it just like, credits roll. You see Whitman. I was about to call him Jon Snow. I was like, nope, he's not Jon Snow anymore.
He's still in black.
Kit Harington there, and you see like just kind of a hooded figure there with him. You don't see his face too much. It's just kind of shrouded. And he's just walking, wearing his coat. He looks back. Are you sure he's going to help us? Yes, I'm positive he will. I don't even know where we're going to find him. And then a guy just falls out of a building, lands right in front of them, and Moon Knight just comes down. It's like, oh. And then it just cut it right there. Doesn't even say anything.
Werewolf by Night is also part of the Midnight Suns too, isn't he?
He is, and so is Punisher. That was the other one I was trying to name.
And huge rumors also. I mean, no, I don't know if there's been confirmation. I think maybe it was confirmed that he's coming back as Punisher. That they were looking to do another series with him.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I think there was some news about it that was probably around the same time the Daredevil and Kingpin stuff.
Yeah. Well, even further back than that, because I remember Andrew saying something about like 6 months ago or something like that. It's been a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe. Hopefully, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, all the pieces are lining up. Is all I'm saying. It's like he's setting them up. He's about to knock them down. And Multiverse of Madness is going to be madness.
Another person who is a part of the Midnight Suns, is Morbius, and because Morbius is a part of it, Black Cat was also a part of it.
And that's something else with the Marvel Sony deal that we don't know where it's going to land just yet, because we thought we were going to find out. Freaking Morbius was supposed to hit this month, and we're going to figure out which universe he lives in and what the hell is going on. But now we got to wait till April.
Yep.
So, I mean, now we're talking March 30th for Moon Knight, which will lead, I think it's 6 episodes. We're talking about 6 weeks, which will lead into March, April, May. So you got Moon Knight leading into Morbius, leading into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I can't. My head hurts.
Yeah.
Midnight Suns, Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I mean, it's gonna be either way. It's a lot of stuff to go see. Got Batman. Are we doing a video on Batman? We're doing a video on Batman.
We better do a video on Batman.
So
yeah,
yeah,
that's in May too, isn't it? No, that's in March.
March. Yeah, they didn't change their day.
Yay. That's right.
So, all right.
Batman is not scared.
No, it's not. Ready to see Batman, that muscle car, and the power of family to beat up Penguin.
The power of family. Oh my gosh. Wow. Man. You shame Bruce Wayne. Poor guy.
Well, I mean,
Vin Diesel shows up. Heard you ain't got no family.
Random shotgun blast. The Bat's not alone. He has a family.
Then The Rock shows up as Black Adam. It's like, told you I ain't doing no movie with you no more. Get out of here, Vin.
Ezra Miller just there nervously like, I'm sorry, I think I ran too far.
I broke something, excuse me.
Bruce? You're not Bruce.
Dude, Willem Dafoe wants to play a alternate, like a wannabe challenger to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. He wants to play a Joker, challenging Joaquin Phoenix's Joker to be the Joker. So,
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a whole other video. We got to stay on track, man. We I think we're hitting like right at about an hour now. So,
okay.
Okay, so
you heard
of course, Midnight Man will also appear in the series. The actor that played him, I cannot remember his name right now. French actor. He died about a week or two ago. Gaspard, sounds right. In a skiing accident. So can't wait to see his interpretation and character. Midnight Man. Let's get into Arthur Harrow, who was just like a one-off kind of bad guy in one comic. Dude was like kind of into like I want to say dealing with like DNA and trying to like mix and shoot, what's that called? Where you're
splicing?
No. Genetics, like messing with genes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's right, because he was messing with things that were kind of had been tested at Auschwitz on.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that until you said it.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a terrible person, but he only showed up in one Moon Knight comic a long time ago. So people are speculating that Ethan Hawke's character Arthur Harrow is actually like a remix or a mix of this guy and Sun King, who is like, you know, obviously a nemesis of Moon Knight, who gets his powers from the Moon God, and Sun King gets his powers from Ra.
Yeah. Patient 86, codename Sun King.
So Ethan Hawke described his character as close to David Koresh, like similar to David Koresh. And you can tell from the trailer that there is some sort of following going on where people are like bowing down to him. Yet Oscar Isaac is still standing, but there are other dudes around Arthur Harrow with machine guns. So there's some sort of like cultish stuff going on. And so then in another scene, apparently Mark or Moon Knight manifested and beat up some of these dudes, and then he wakes up in that scene where he's got bloody fists in like this alley, and they're all laying on the ground. And then there's obviously the other scene where he's driving a truck and he's got a gun in his hand, and he kind of like switches and realizes he's got a gun, and there's a dude in the back with his face blown off. But right behind him is like the cupcake truck that was shown in the same scene where he was standing and everybody was kind of kneeling. Right behind him on a box, there's a Von D something, and people were freaking out thinking that it was Von Doom, but other boxes in the truck say Von Delicacies? Or I can't say the word.
Delicacies?
No.
What's the other word?
It's with like essence.
Incandescent?
I don't know. It might even be. It's probably just another language anyway. But anyway, it's another word. It might just be that word for cupcakes. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But it's not Von Doom. But there is something very interesting that Arthur Harrow says to Moon Knight. I'll just call him Moon Knight because I don't know which persona he is at the time. Because I think during the trailer that we actually hear him as the different personas. We have not. I mean, we know Mark is there, and we know that not Victor, but Steven is there, but we don't know about Jake, the taxi driver, just yet. He hasn't shown up in the trailer, so we don't know if he's in it, or if it was just one too many, or if he'll get him later, or whatever. Because they may just be dealing with like just the beginning of the split, where there's like one or two now, and then it grows.
Yeah.
Or something. Because like this said in the book, like Mr. Knight showed up later, and Mr. Knight actually wears just like a white three-piece suit. Yeah, and it's got a moon on his head, all white. So he doesn't have like the whole hooded figure like traditional Moon Knight. But it does tease that, and of course, like his reflections and the mirrors are all throughout it, and he's having issues sleeping and chaining himself to the bed and trying to keep track of himself and where he's going, and all these different things that are alluring to like this Fight Club type quality. So if you haven't seen Fight Club, and there was another one I can't remember what it. I can look it up real quick. Where'd it go?
So with kind of adding on to what Dylan's saying while he's looking it up. Moon Knight. I have a feeling there might be a probably not since like Captain America, Steve Rogers is gone, but Moon Knight also beats up Nazis or used to beat up Nazis. So there could be some Hydra tie-ins, especially or old Nazi experiments that he has to beat up because Nazis like to experiment with everything. Mm-hmm. But the way that they did it in the MCU, that like mystic science division was under Red Skull, and that became Hydra.
Right.
So we could, like I said, still see like some remnants of Hydra.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't know who Val is yet. She could potentially be Madam Hydra and trying to restart Hydra or something like that.
Yeah.
Because one iteration of her character was Madam Hydra in the comics. So yeah, the other movie that I was going to mention that they probably pulled elements from is Memento. So if you haven't seen Memento or Fight Club, go watch those and kind of get some of like the just DID
the
stuff.
vibes.
Yeah, like the amnesia DID type stuff going on. So yeah, Arthur Harrow does mention something interesting to him. He says, "There's chaos in you. Embrace the chaos." Right?
Yes.
So that could be a clue to the fact that Khonshu in the comics was revealed to be an elder chaos god who was just kind of like lumped in the Egyptian pantheon and took on like the persona of Khonshu.
Yeah.
And so that's significant because obviously Doctor Strange and Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, chaos magic, and what's going on leading into the Multiverse of Madness. And what book do they have? They've got the Darkhold.
The Darkhold.
Yeah. With what's the god Chthon?
Oh, Chthon.
Yeah. So the Darkhold is like basically kind of like it's like the Necronomicon. Like the Book of the Dead or whatever, but the evil elder god Chthon has kind of like imbued it with his spirit and himself kind of. So it's like this book that's kind of like the Ring and Lord of the Rings, the One Ring. It's evil. It's evil in itself, and it kind of can kind of haunt or take over its reader and it's super dangerous that Wanda has it and is reading the hell out of it. But that book also, Chthon and the Darkhold is where the characters like werewolves and vampires all came from in the MCU. So we could potentially see the birth of those in the Multiverse of Madness and it tie in with Blade and Moon Knight and all those characters that we weren't really kind of expecting to see, but now that Moon Knight is coming out before Multiverse of Madness,
it could just begin, priming the engine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're talking 6 weeks, and it's March 30th, so like going through April into May, right before the movie starts.
Right before.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm ready for that.
Yeah,
actually,
getting super excited for all that.
So
so Moon Knight's got connections to chaos magic too.
Moon Knight has connections.
That makes sense. That's why why his personality split too, is because he's possessed by a chaos god.
Yeah. If by the end of this he just starts wearing a white suit, I will be done and happy at the same time. Mr. Knight. Yeah, it's going to be a good series. I mean, none of the TV series have really let down overall. WandaVision was our fault, I guess.
I don't
I
know.
guess.
I think WandaVision was setting things up, and they were trying to get there, and they intended to go there, but because of COVID and different scheduling conflicts, that they kind of had to just do what they could with it.
Yeah.
I know that's true of the appearance of Doctor Strange in it, that there were scheduling conflicts, and they intended for him to be behind her visions and those commercial bits, but it just didn't. They weren't able to make it work.
So, yeah, it happens. It's okay. We're fine now. It's a year later.
Are we there?
2 years later?
No, 1 year.
How long? 1 year. Okay.
Yep. 1 year ago, we were talking about WandaVision.
Dang.
Whew, man.
Whew.
That's when we started doing the MCU edition of the FOMO show. So, man, we've been doing this. Been back for a year. That's crazy. That deserves the real deal. It's like right by our heads in our ear. So, yeah, super excited. They're setting up all these characters, and they're down the road, and don't die on us. They're on screen, Quinn.
I'm good now.
Cool.
Yes. So yeah, and then Moon Knight could still show up in hopefully other things besides just kind of the mystical things, because he,
like you said, he partners with Spider-Man a lot too.
Partners with Spider-Man, partners with the Defenders. He was a part of the West Coast Avengers at one point. So yeah.
Which we could be seeing, saw, I think, the setup of that in Hawkeye.
Yep. So I think we're just a few steps away from having
this
the
time
full
next
lineup.
year. This time next year. This time next year, dude.
We should hopefully the lineup.
I think like 1 year ago we were watching WandaVision, and we had no clue what Spider-Man No Way Home, nuts. And that's with COVID.
Yeah.
That's with trying to maneuver with COVID. Imagine when there's nothing but themselves in their own way. That could be worse, but in 1 year from now, dude, I mean, we're gonna have all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, just watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. we'll have seen Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4, Black Panther 2, She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, Secret Invasion possibly.
Mm-hmm. Boy, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. The water
this
is
time
rich with MCU.
Mark the day and the time. January 27th at 11:24. We will know the full lineup, if not have the announcement for the next Avengers movie.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if nothing else, the Young Avengers or the Dark Avengers, we'll probably know a hell of a lot more about the Dark Avengers.
Yep. Boy, where's U.S. Agent?
I know. I think in She-Hulk we'll probably see more of that. I don't know if Val... Would it be weird if Val showed up in Moon Knight?
No. Not at all.
You think she would try to recruit him? I don't think... Because
it would be
in the comics, he's based in America. He's an American in the comics.
Yeah. And he's... from what the show looks like, it looks like it's not in the U.S. starting out.
Yeah. It's at
So
a British museum.
yeah.
And that could just be where
So-
Steven went to hide, or his persona, manifested, and that's where he, felt at home, which is, yeah. It's odd because, he just went out and got him a new house and he just decided that he'd been there forever.
Very
I don't know
odd.
how all that works. I'm not trying to mock people with DID. But it's a totally different thing in the movies and in TV and in entertainment. It's not the same like some of these people on TikTok that are faking these things that obviously they don't have the thing. They're just pretending. But there's a real thing. It's very serious, and yeah.
So out of
There's
all the
definitely some liberties taken.
yes. Out of everybody, I think she would be the one that she would get the most. Moon Knight would be the one where she would get the most screen time. Is because he, guy shows up, he's just got that whole I'm gonna beat people's faces into the ground with this unk. So yeah, U.S. agent.
Oh, speaking of, there's another theory that is like how he is being controlled, and that they're going to, and that could be kind of like his ebony blade, and that Blade is actually tracking down these mystical items, and that's the thing that he's looking for.
What if they do a thing where all of these, Blade has to find these mystical items because he's not the one looking for them, because Dracula's also looking for them, because it opens a freaking crypt to a death god. Not even have to be a death god, and it's going to be an ancient, powerful being, and then it can all end up tying back into Black Knight if they want to, with some stuff with Merlin, and we can get Merlin's spirit, and then Arthur could show up.
What if it's Shumagorath?
Goodbye, Dylan. Have a good day.
Or they're playing with the whole Gargantos remix of Shumagorath, but that's one of the theories, is that's why Gargantos Shumagorath is showing up, is because it wants Wanda's power, because it's an elder god, right? Can you explain a little bit of that?
Which part of it
comes for that? It feeds on it, or it's looking for a way to enter our dimension.
World.
Yeah.
And no elder being at the
Wanda
current
can
moment.
cross. Yeah, and Wanda's a Nexus being.
So she can just and all that fun stuff. And she also, now with being a Nexus being, she can give elder gods, really any other being, the power to leave dimensions that they're, especially if they're trapped there, and just freely roam, as like Dormammu, freely roam into, we'll call it the material plane, to make it simple, being our world. So they're trapped in their world because elder gods have just been there.
Evil.
Because they're evil, and all elder gods have been trapped there. They have this immense, massive power, and they can influence beings through dimensions. They just can't physically cross through them themselves. Like the closest thing that we've seen as kind of an elder god besides Dormammu,
Dweller in Darkness.
Yes, the thing from Shang-Chi. That's probably the best example besides Dormammu.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's it was trying to get out, and so it was calling to him and trying to fool him, and it was using he had power, and it knew he could. So that could be just like a little mini introduction to the greater plot of Multiverse of Madness with Shumagorath and Wanda. Also, could the beacon that those things sent out be for Shumagorath and these elder gods. Like
You
in the
think
dark, which
the
also
bands
ties. Which let me get nerdy for a second. Which also ties into Guardians of the Galaxy and the All Black by that is held by Gore the God Butcher, which was created for the symbiote, the god of the symbiotes, Null, who could be awakening if Gore the God Butcher is killed and the All Black returns to him or something like that. And we've got Venom in there now, so it's all, and so possible. Like all these elder gods, and they dwell in the darkest, deepest places of the universe where light doesn't touch. And
then you have a celestial that's still sticking out of the earth. You have the Celestials,
because the Celestials haven't gotten to that part of the universe yet to create light and life,
to wipe out the darkness. And if the dreamer being put to sleep forever actually is
and that's the repercussions of
them not letting him awaken. Is now all these elder evils are trying to find a way out because they know that they can.
And so maybe like the 10 rings are one of these type of artifacts, like the crescent or the ebony blade, and they're trying to use these things to lure them to get their power. Or the Darkhold is one of these things.
Darkhold's one of these things.
Yeah, they're the MacGuffins. They're the new Infinity Stones.
So then that would make, let's just say that there's 6. You got the Darkhold, the 10 rings. I was about to call them the quantum bands, but I didn't. You have the Ebony Blade. We have Moon Knight's Ankh. That's 4. The Necroblade, which Gore the God Butcher will have, which is in space. So
the All Black or whatever it is.
Yeah, the All Black, and then we would need something else, something that would tie all of these together somehow.
Dracula. No, I was kidding. Dang, I'm trying to think what other movie is coming, like on the docket that's coming.
I mean, Multiverse of Madness. There's tons of stuff in the Sanctum Sanctorum. But why is he wearing the Eye of Agamotto?
Because it's still a powerful relic. I mean, that's the only thing I could gather. That it's still a relic.
It's still a relic. It was used to house an Infinity Stone for centuries. So what does it actually do? That might be the last one.
What?
If he's still wearing it and it's empty, there's something else to it. Because it showed, like in the comics, that's what he would he'd open it up, and it's not an Infinity Stone. It's just like an actual magical relic that amplifies his powers. And that can amplify any creature's powers as long as they know how to open it. But if you don't know how to control your own magic, then it'll overtake you, and then you'll just like pop.
Yeah. It would make sense that it would be something with Doctor Strange, because they did say that Stephen Strange would be the main character of the next saga. Like he would be like the Cap and Iron Man of the next one going forward. So, like, I'm curious though, like, okay, so obviously we've got these different storylines and plot lines running parallel to each other. Like we've got like the Young Avengers and Dark Avengers, and we've got the horror magic side, and we've also got like the multiverse Kang stuff that is going to connect with Ant-Man, Fantastic Four coming up. So I mean, potentially, Fantastic Four could have something to kind of tie all this in. But Stephen Strange, but that would make sense if the Eye of Agamotto, like he has to protect that, and that's the, like, you know, the thing that connects them all.
What if the Eye of Agamotto is still the Eye of Agamotto? It was just the Infinity Stone was over the actual eye, and that's why, for one, the Infinity Stone could be hidden, and two, that's how the Infinity Stone could be like used and controlled, because a mortal using an Infinity Stone always ended up in death. Every single time except for Vision, because his body was made of vibranium. What's her face? Jane Foster.
Star-Lord.
She
got
Star-Lord,
cancer.
she got cancer. Star-Lord had it. Cracks went through a man's whole face. He was about to pop. Ronan was able to use it because he put it in an item and not holding it with his bare hands. Someone had to die for the Soul Stone twice. And then, what other stone was there? The Space Stone was never really touched by anybody, but when Red Skull tried to touch the Tesseract, it just poofed him across the universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it burned through the bottom of Steve's ship, or it wasn't his ship.
Burned through the bottom of, into
the ocean.
Through the. So that begs the question then: why were the Sorcerer Supremes, past, present? That's it, because there's no more Infinity Stone. Why were they able to use it and not have repercussions happen to them physically or mentally? And I think it's because the Eye of Agamotto is still the Eye of Agamotto. It was just had the Infinity Stone on top of it.
It's still super powerful.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, there's got to be more to it because he's still wearing it. There's got to be more to it. It's not just a necklace.
I mean, as cool as it looks.
But how does this tie together with Kang? Because we know Kang is supposed to be like the next big bad. How does this tie into the multiverse? I mean, obviously, we've got. Well, I mean, I guess we'll find out with Multiverse of Madness because we see. I mean, it's literally about the multiverse and magic at the same time. So maybe Kang is trying to stop these things so that he can control the multiverse, or he needs these items to control the multiverse, or something.
Close. I think you're there. I think in my brain, but Kang usually, yes, he wants to control all of space and time, but he usually comes back to like beat up on the Avengers because one of them, somebody, made a decision that ends up making the future start to disintegrate. And so then he has the ability, just to like look through all of recorded history and then pinpoint something like that shouldn't be there. He then punches into time, he goes through a door, and he starts beating up on somebody until it fixes things. So I think Doctor Strange doing what he is doing in the Multiverse of Madness, there's some decision, something happens in there that causes one of the Kang's futures to start to disintegrate. And the only thing that he can see that he can see that is making everything disintegrate is that decision that Doctor Strange made, because it's such a large event culminating across multiple timelines. So he has to go beat up Doctor Strange.
Yep. And it all started with Peter just wanting everybody to forget who he was.
Yep. He might just be an end credit scene of Kane just punching Spider-Man.
That'd be awesome. I definitely want to see him fight King.
Yes. Oh, that'd be cool.
So okay, so we're getting the Marvels coming too in February 2023. So, and Blade doesn't even have a release date. Fantastic Four doesn't have a release date. Quantumania and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania is, I think, filming also right now.
Okay.
But that releases July 2023. So in February 2023, The Marvels comes out, and that's supposed to have Carol and Ms. Marvel and Photon.
Monica Rambeau, yep.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau. And there are rumors that Monica Rambeau is going to show up in Multiverse of Madness too, because of her ties to Wanda, obviously. But
yeah.
So I'm curious, like, because so now that what's got me thinking is just like the Infinity Stones, like everything, things were happening, but they also kind of sort of connected to, and touched. They were closely like running parallel to something to do with promoting the plot of the Infinity Stones and moving that forward in some degree. So that's the way I'm looking at it now, Quinn. Is like these mystical items are somehow tied to these movies, and so I'm just like, okay, so what is the Marvels gonna put forth? What is obviously Blade is gonna explain it all and put it all together, and man, or Wakanda. Wakanda Forever is also supposed to introduce Namor, so we could get
God dang!
Thank
you, Dylan.
Yeah, I was like, there's got to be some Atlantean thing going on. The Daywalker meets the Trident.
The Daywalker meets the Trident.
Dude, Blade in Wakanda?
So you're a black vampire? Yeah, and that's cool. That's all I said.
Sure, he starts crushing on him.
she just walks up to Dane Whitman and what's his deal? What do you mean? What's his deal? Is he talking to anyone? No, I don't think so. He's confused. Hilarious. Oh.
Ryan Reynolds shows up. Not as Deadpool, but as his Blade character. I need to go back and watch Blade. Stephen Dorff, like all of them, man. Shoot, who was Blade's mentor in the movies? It was I see his face, but I can't think. It was an old white dude with a beard.
Yeah, he talking like this. Yeah, I see him.
I'm like trying to I'm like, my brain is going crazy. I'm trying to fan cast everything right now. Like, who would play that guy?
Was also Bruce Banner's dad in like the Universal Hulk movie?
No, that's Nick Nolte.
Okay.
Is it?
I have no idea.
Okay, is it Nick Nolte?
It's Chris Christopherson.
That's right, because he's also a country music singer.
Yeah.
Chris Christopherson.
He's 85.
Yeah. So Khonshu could be in league with these elder gods and stuff too. And huge tie-ins and implications for Moon Knight and introducing this stuff, this mystical horror side of the MCU to us. Super excited because like it's like Halloween in March for me. It's like and I love that the MCU's like, it might just be it might just be Halloween MCU for like the next 5 years, which would be awesome.
Be super cool.
Like I love horror stuff, but some horror stuff for me is like it doesn't really do it for me. But I love like supernatural and sci-fi horror, like Aliens or like the Conjuring type stuff. Like I love those types of horror stuff.
Okay.
Like slashers, it's fun, but like I grew up on Freddy, and there's like some kind of like magical, mystical element to that too. So I kind of that was fun because because he's in people's dreams and stuff. But
yeah. Like give me a monster I can get behind. You know, give me a little bit of the Wolfman. Give me some Frankenstein.
The werewolves and the vampires and the mummies and like I mean, obviously Moon Knight is tied in with the Egyptian and the mummies. Like he's the mummy.
He's the mummy.
They're just doing their own version of the dark universe. That's all. The Universal monsters. They're just doing that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Blade is Dracula. Moon Knight is the mummy.
Black Knight's Frankenstein.
Is he?
He can't die, Dylan. Literally, he dies. He just puts his head back on, call it a day.
You know, Moon Knight is also Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So. I mean, obviously Bruce Banner, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He's based on that character, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But getting into those elements of it and exploring that's what I'm excited about. Like those classic monsters, and those ties. Yeah. Like, gimme.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh yeah.
Say more.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, man. We've geeked out quite a lot, and
yes.
I think if we talk more, we're just gonna geek out some more. But we've been going for a little while, and I'm looking at the lineup here, and yeah, there I don't see any other movies that are in the lineup that have been that I can tell. I have to do more research to see what else is in the pipeline.
I get you.
But
whew. All right.
It got real. It got interesting. I love that.
Yes. It's always a good time.
Yeah. Moon Knight's gonna be fun. Like that, because it's got so much to it. It's got that dark humor, you got that comedy horror stuff, and like horror, and that psychological thriller element to it, and adventure, because Mark Spector is an adventurer.
Yep. So
and the mysticism with like the Egyptian gods type thing, like it's like Indiana Jones with as Batman and multiple personalities.
Oh, terrifying. So the only thing that I really want, because I mean, I've just been waiting for like ever for them to pull the trigger. When are we gonna get Deadpool? Honestly,
I know, right? They're supposedly still like perfecting the script, but I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. We could potentially see him in Multiverse of Madness, or at least get a cameo or something like that. Just give me. I like just like in Deadpool 2 where they like the door was open and we saw the X-Men, and then they just shut the door. Like, just give me that much of Deadpool. That's all. I would go nuts. Like I don't like used to like. People would be so upset, like, oh, I don't want to see a comic book movie where they just like some character walks across the screen and that's all we get of that character. But like at this point, Like the movies are so packed, like, and I don't care. You know what I mean? Like used to, it'd be like, oh, that's such a cheap way to use these characters, and there's so much more. But we can explore those characters further, and we know that we will probably get more of those characters in like in a Disney Plus show or later on. So it's fine to just have them in there for 2 seconds and tease us. Like, I don't care, man. Like, I know I'm gonna get more. It's just icing on the cake. It's a cherry on top.
Just give us something, please. Y'all have owned this mess for a while now, please. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Me too.
All right. Super late. I gotta work in the morning. Some of us don't have to work in the morning because they're sick. I was not gonna have to work in the morning, but I got called in, so that's all right. I have more hours. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this gig doesn't pay well. With that, thank you for watching. And thanks for joining us, and we hope that you will join us live every Thursday night on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook about 9:30 Central Standard Time. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so that you know when we drop new videos, when we go live, and when we're talking about stuff. And also, thank you so much for your support, and not just monetarily. That would be great too. Of course, it would help us do more things and have more time to do more things. Hey, Quinn liked the stream. Appreciate that. Little zombie up there. Ooh, zombie. Who's the zombie? No, okay. Get on track, Dylan. Get on track, Dylan. All right, yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for your support. Support is also so much. It's monetary, which there are ways to do that, but it's also so much more like liking and sharing and telling your friends.
Tell your friends
that are into Marvel stuff, and chatting with us on the stream. Appreciate that. So also check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com, and you can check out some merch options there too. So yeah, I'm Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
And we will see you next time. Peace.
Bye.